Building a successful wrestling program doesn't happen overnight. It takes vision, culture, leadership, and a commitment to developing people on and off the mat. In just his second year as head coach, Gabe Flores helped lead Clovis North to a sixth-place finish at the California State Championships. In this episode, Coach Flores shares what it really takes to build a program, create buy-in, develop culture, and compete it year after year. So whether you're a coach, wrestler, parent, or fan of the sport, there's something in this conversation. All right. I'm up here in beautiful Clovis, California with Coach Gabe Flores at Clovis North. Coach, when did you know you wanted to get into coaching?
I knew once I got done with my wrestling career at Illinois, I knew I wanted to come back home and I wanted to work with the high school wrestling. And I knew when I came home, Coach Tirapelli, Steve, old man, he'd asked me what I was doing. So I came back. He got me a little gig over at Clark Intermediate, and then I was coaching both at Clark and at Clovis High. So once I did that, I kind of fell in love with it. You find a passion for coaching. I mean, obviously, when you're competing, it's a job, but when you realize how much you can give to kids, at least my thoughts are, I want the kids that I work with, I want them to be better and to have better than what I had, more opportunities. So I fell in love with coaching, and it just, that's why I do what I do. I love doing it, being around kids.
Wonderful. And what brought you to Clovis North then?
So I was in a rough part of my life. 6 years ago, I got into a little accident, and 6 years sober right now. A little under 6 years, but I just met the love of my life, my wife now, and we started dating. And Dr. Shapiro, who's the principal at Clovis North, he had tried to get into contact with me a year before and wanted me to come over here and talk to me. And I told him I didn't want to do it. I'd worked with Troy Tirapelli, and I saw how much he did over Buchanan, and it's a lot. So when he asked me for a second time, he's close friends with my wife. She asked me to just go talk to him. So I came and talked to him, and he told me everything that I needed to hear in that part of my life. It's weird. Things just kind of line up when you're at a point in your life where I had a struggle, and then I was coming up, and then it just kind of aligned perfectly with my life at that time. So yeah, Dr. Fair reached out and told me everything I needed to hear. I know Clovis North has the wrestling here is really good. So I knew my job was just, if I got here and I started coaching here, my job was just to keep the kids. And I've done a pretty good job on keeping the kids from little guys all the way up to Clovis North.
What are some things that maybe kind of held you back for a little bit as far as that? And then what are things that new coaches don't know when they're getting into a head coaching position?
Well, at that time, I was an assistant over Buchanan. I would say you could have called me the head assistant, but I didn't have, I worked with a lot of kids one-on-one stuff, but I didn't realize all the stuff till I took this job, how much Troy actually had to do, how much the head coach has to do. It's a lot. And so I was a single dad at that time, and I had a lot of time to work with kids. I had a lot of other things, that I could do. When I took over the program here, I realized there's paperwork that you got to deal with, parents, just so many more things that you have to do. You have to go to meetings, you have to talk to kids, you have to talk to admin, and there's just a lot more pieces to it than just the wrestling part. So, and then the most important thing I would say for guys that think about taking over, do it when you're young. I got married recently, and so family is the most important thing to me. We do not get a lot of time with our family during season. My wife, she's awesome. She's a stallion. She knows, and she's totally bought in. She knows during the season, it's like when I wake up 6, 7 o'clock in the morning, it's wrestling. What's going on? I got a text message here. Hey, my day's getting started. I've already talked to 3 people on the phone. And, after practice, we usually get done around 6 o'clock, 5:36. Then I might have something because I don't really get any time with my own son. So then I might spend another hour with my own kid. There's times we don't get home till 8:30 or 9. So spend time with your family. That's always most important. But I would say if you can get it started when you're young, get going when you're young and
Cool.
don't wait till last minute till I did, like I did.
I think that's great advice.
Yeah.
What, in your opinion, separates good schools from the elites, from the Buchanan, Clovis, Poway, St. John Bosco, Gilroy, and now Clovis North?
Culture. You have to have people that buy in. Obviously financial, finances, that's a lot. And I know other schools aren't as blessed as some of the others, but it's really what it comes down to is culture. And I always tell people the difference between in the Clovis North, the Buchanans, Clovis Highs, we don't run a high school program. We run a college program. And I try to embed that into our kids' minds. And it's always nice hearing from college coaches when our kids get back from school or they call us like, hey, your kids know how to drill. Like they know how to work out. They can get through these things. We run it like it's a college style environment. So obviously we don't have the kids who are college wrestlers, but I run my practices hard and I try to run the practices like our coaches did at Illinois. They were Dan Gable guys, Jim Heffernan, Mark Johnson. So I run hard practices. And I think those are the things that separate our schools from others is just, we run it like a college style program.
In addition to just raw talent and obviously starting earlier, that culture helps set the tone. Is that kind of,
Yeah, absolutely.
and they buy in.
Yes.
What are some habits that you look for in wrestlers?
Obviously hard work. I want the kid who's the hardest worker, but I really look at the kids, like the kids who hold themselves accountable, who are there every single day that don't have excuses. Those are the kids that I like. One example I can give you, and I'm sure the kids will get mad because I always say it, but Tyler Sweet, like that kid never has excuses. If I asked him to run 20 miles, kid would probably run 25. He's a leader. He's always doing extra. And those are the things that it takes. When kids do that naturally, it makes your job easier. You don't have to get on them. The kids see Tyler doing extra things. They want to do it. And so I'm looking for hard work, accountability, and kids that don't have excuses. When you don't have excuses, things just kind of flow. They go really easy.
Obviously, an individual sport. How do you promote or foster like team chemistry? And where do you find that balance on? Obviously, we have dual meets and it's a team, but it is an individual thing. And so how do you get that buy-in to where they're not just a wrestler, but they're a Bronco and they're part of Clovis North and your program?
Yeah. I try to have our kids do a lot of things together. So, when one kid gets in trouble, I'm holding everybody accountable. We're a team, even like the parents, our administration, everyone is kind of bought in now. Wrestling is an individual sport, but as a team, like I always tell the kids, you can't do this by yourself. If that's the case, I don't know anybody that's ever won a state championship by themselves. You need your team. You need people. You need workout partners. You need your coaches, your parents. So I just tell the kids, this is a team sport, and we have a saying. Everybody always asks me, Ubuntu. It's on our sleeve on all of our jackets, but that's kind of like our team slogan. Ubuntu means you cannot be your best self without your partner. So your partner is what really, really makes you the wrestler that you're striving to be. So yeah, we kind of live by that saying Ubuntu. So that's how I kind of get the kids to buy in. Team culture.
All part of creating that culture and that process.
Have to.
How do you balance fun? I know it's not all fun.
Yeah.
And it can't all be fun. Are there any tricks or secrets that you have?
I try to make it fun at practice. I mean, the kids will tell you 90% of the time I'm pissed off. But I try to keep it fun. There's a few times during the year where we'll play games in the room. We'll play, I don't know what you call it, slapback, dodgeball. But we did, one of our parents organized a little retreat this past summer where we went to Shaver Lake as a team. We barbecued and we did things. I'm trying to incorporate more of that stuff. So kids need breaks. And I think sometimes kids think that they have to go all the time, in which you can appreciate that as a coach, but kids need breaks, man. Like they're not in college yet. They're still, they're still teens. They need to be able to go out and hang out with their friends, go to the movies. I'm a big advocate on kids going to college where, go to school where they have a good football team. They need to be able to go have fun and do those things, go to prom. So play different sports. So yeah, I try to keep it fun. I tell the kids, like right after the state tournament, we take about a month off, 3 weeks to a month off, but I tell them, I don't want you to reach out to me. Go have fun after school. If that's doing homework, then I mean, go ahead, go do what you need to do. But I always tell the kid they need breaks. We need breaks. I need breaks. Our coaches need breaks. And so, yeah, that's how I try to keep it fun.
What is something technique wise that you see a lot of young wrestlers coming into high school, or maybe even high school wrestlers that, they're trying to get to our state meet, they're trying to place, they're trying to win it. You see any patterns that they're missing?
Yeah. And I love flow wrestling. I love watching wrestling 24 hours. But what I think what it's done is younger kids nowadays, gosh, wrestling has evolved so much, and these high school kids are so good now. But some of these younger kids come in and they think like, okay, guy gets on my legs, it's immediately scramble. I think kids have kind of gotten away from just basic squaring up, stuff in the head, sprawling, get your hips back, reach for the behind and go behind. I always try. Now, I wasn't your meathead, hand fight type of guy, but I realized when I was more of a slick wrestler. I realized when you get to the Big Ten and you get to wrestling those top five guys, you're going to duck them one time, but they're going to feel that. And the next time you're going to try it again, they're going to club your head. And so I always try to tell my kids, hey, I need you to wrestle more solid. I need you to hand fight more. I need you to wear the guy down. And then the ducks will come. The cool moves will come. But I think just what kids will get better once they get from junior high to high school is the basics always work the best. And that's going to be even at the highest level. So get away from the scrambling. Or try. I know it's fun. It looks pretty, but yeah.
Easier said than done.
Yeah,
Sure.
I know.
Let's talk about this area. If there's a tougher league in the country, I don't know what it is. So the track league, you guys got Clovis North, Buchanan, obviously Clovis West. And what is it? The water? Is it the philosophy? What?
Well, just so you know, I got good news about a month ago. They will now be going from like a 6-man track league to a 3-man league. So now it's just going to be us, Buchanan, Clovis High in our league. Oh. So yeah, it's going to be great. But no, I think people here in the Central Valley really pride themselves on wrestling. When we go back home or when we go back to Illinois, they always tell us, man, why is wrestling so good out there? I don't know what it is, honestly. It's a blue collar area, the Central Valley, but you just wrestling the tradition here. I think Clovis Unified has done a really, really good job going back from the 70s. Doc B, he had Coach DeLito over at Clovis High. They won a couple of state titles. Then you got to the Clovis West era. And then, Coach Tirapelli, my coach, Adam, Steve, Gabe Flores, and them, they went on a run for I don't know how long. What was it? 6-7 years where they just dominated the scene. And then when me and Troy were at Buchanan, we made a run there. And now, I mean, you look at Buchanan last year, what Troy did with that team, they had like 7 or 8 seniors. It was like, dude, I don't think there will ever be a team that is that good. But I just think because we do so much and Adam did a good job of creating the summer league where kids come down and they just wrestle here. We just offer a lot more opportunities and wrestling is just, Doc B did a really good job of establishing, wrestling is going to be a big deal here and it's still a big deal. So, the Doc B tournament, like that's talked about all around the country. So people know this is an area for wrestling.
What's your philosophy and how you getting everybody in? Cause you never really know who's going to make it at the end.
For sure. Yeah, it's hard. I mean, you see what's going on with that whole NIL stuff. I mean, kids transferring. There's going to be kids transferring, and that's never going to stop. Kids are going to transfer from one school to another. But what I try to do is I always try to explain to the kids in our wrestling room, we have 4 or 5 guys that are going to do their job. You got Tyler Sweet, you got Jonathan Rocha, you got Siraj Shadu, you got Chris Earle, you got those guys who are always going to do their part. So I try to focus on the kids that are just right on the bubble. And you have to really pay attention to those guys. You have to pay attention to the junior high guys that are coming up because that's our future. And I think we're getting away from it, but the whole weight cutting thing, I'm always trying to get my guys bigger.
Yeah.
So we have a lot of guys right now that are in the 50, 60-pound range. I'm trying to get 2 or 3 of them to like 200 pounds right now so we can spread our lineup. But if we do that, we're going to be a lot better. But if they kind of stay the same, then like you said, we're going to have trouble where it's like, okay, who's going what? Where are we going to do this? One guy's going to have to cut weight. So I always try to make our guys bigger, and I focus on, I have enough coaches where they can focus on the better guys, but I always try to focus on those guys that are just kind of right in the middle, and the younger guys.
I'm sure that they appreciate it.
Mm-hmm.
I support that 100%. What is your favorite memory as a coach?
My favorite memory as a coach, man, there's been a lot of them.
You can list more than one.
I think one of my favorite ones was the first time when I was at Buchanan, me and Troy, the first time we beat Clovis High in a duel. That was really special because, it's a lot of hard work, and to be able to pass those guys, like we realize, hey, we put all this work in, we put this extra time, and we know how much his dad and Adam and Gabe Schaefer put into it. So that was one of my favorite times when we beat Clovis High in the big duel, and back then it was really, really big. Another, I can name you right now, Jonathan Rocha winning the state championship was really special for me because that was individually my first state champion as a head coach. So Jonathan winning the high school state championship alone was really good. But, there's a lot of special moments as a coach. Gosh, I wish I could name more right now. But yeah, I could probably name a couple more throughout, but those are 2 that just pop up to my head right now.
Take me back to that finals last year with Jonathan. Before we get to the celebration, he locks up a cradle in the first period and backsteps it. Suicide, like what? I don't know what you call it,
And I knew he was going to. He's so freaking strong. But yeah, he got caught.
Yeah. Like, part of me is like, guy's going for it. Like,
oh yeah,
he's not holding back.
Yeah, for sure.
What was going through your brain, during that final match?
Well, what a lot of people don't know, and I'm sure he's fine with me airing it out. Jonathan was really, really sick at the state tournament. He went to the hospital Thursday night before first day wins, and second day he went to the hospital. So if you watch his matches, he looks completely out of shape. He's just not the same kid. But when he locked up that cradle and he got caught, I haven't watched the Savidian kid wrestle. I didn't even know what he looked like.
Yeah.
So when he got caught, the first thing I was thinking, and I was telling Coach Perry, dude, this guy's in a cradle and he's been sitting here and Jonathan hasn't gotten him over yet. Like, this kid's got good fill. So when he caught us, I was super stressed out. I was scared. And I have faith in Jonathan that he can always come back and win matches. But then when he locked up the cradle the second time, I was like, dude, don't get caught again. My gosh. But no, man, he finds ways to win, and he caught him on his back, and he's so freaking strong. I think he said he just locked up his grip and just kind of bullied him over. So, yeah, to say I was not scared or stressed, I'd be lying. I was definitely scared, and I didn't know if you'd pull it out. So, yeah, it was a little tense on my seat for a little bit.
I think that wrestlers sometimes in those big matches, they hold back.
Yeah,
and
for sure.
When I was doing a little homework on this, I looked at some of the scores and the matches leading up, and I didn't know he was sick, but you could tell by some of the scores and how close some of the matches were being.
Yeah.
And it felt like as the tournament went along, he actually started to feel a little better.
Well, at one point I was scared he wasn't going to make weight because his dad took him to the hospital and they put so many fluids in him. Like, I think he said, he goes, dude, he's like a pound and a half over. I'm like, oh my gosh, do I have to worry about this kid making weight? So, yeah, it had a lot to do. There was a lot to do with that. So, yeah.
So he locks up that cradle and just muscles it over, gets the fall. What's the first thing you say to him?
I'm a really emotional person. My wrestlers, I treat them like my kids, and they'll tell you I'm super hard on them, but I'm hard on my own son. But I know how hard Jonathan worked, and I know he's been through a lot. I told him I loved him. And when I say things like that to kids, I'm hoping they treasure that, and they really know that I mean it, because I really do treat my wrestlers like my kids. I love each and every single one of them. It's a hard sport.
Yeah.
And we pour so much into them. I don't think people realize, like, obviously we don't do this for the money, but when you pour that much into kids, you have to get attached to them. Me telling Jonathan, I told him I loved him, and we did it, and it was a good moment.
Hey, those keep you going for a little while
Oh, yeah.
longer, right?
Yeah.
Now, if you weren't coaching, what would you be doing?
Lord knows. I don't know. I love coaching, just being around kids. I never even thought about anything else. But yeah, I love being around kids. I'm glad I just got my teacher credentials, so I don't know what I'd be doing. I know it'd have to be doing something with wrestling, but my wife's wanted me to start up a wrestling club of my own. It's like, I'm not doing it.
In 5 years from now, what do you hope the state thinks and says about Clovis North?
I always tell my principal, my main thing is I'm trying to make them happy. I hope in 5 years, obviously, we're trying to catch Clovis first, but the goal is to be the state champions. So in order to do that, you got to pass Clovis High, you got to pass St. John Bosco, Poway, Buchanan. All these guys work hard, and they're doing all the same things that we're doing. And so in 5 years, if we can pass one of them, I mean, I don't think Clovis North has ever placed in the top 5. We were 2 points out this year, but you know, I don't want to be a top 5 team. I want to win the state, and I think we can do it with the parent support we have, with the administration, with our kids. So I'm hoping in 5 years, people are saying, "Holy crap, Gabe Flores did it. He passed Buchanan, Clovis High, and those guys." But it's hard. Like, obviously, they're at the top right now, and we're trying to catch up. So yeah, in 5 years, I'm hoping we can catch those guys and win a state championship ourselves.
And other than state titles or winning or losing, when a kid graduates, what do you hope they take away after 4 years?
I always tell our kids, like, when they graduate, I want relationships with my kids. I don't want my kid leaving saying, "Gosh, Coach Gabe, he was mean. Like, I don't like him." I always tell my kids, I want to be invited to their weddings. I want to know that what I did for them meant something. So when they leave our program, I just want them. I always tell our kids, outside of wrestling, I want them to be good human beings. Like, I want people to say, "Man, that guy was an awesome wrestler, but he was an even better person." So I try to have our kids lead by example. And I always tell them, hey, don't be great on the wrestling mat. Be great outside too. People are always going to remember you for how good of a person you are. Wrestling, they'll remember, but leave our program knowing that you're always a leader and you're a good person.
So all these coaches out there, what's one or two things that you would recommend for coaches that are trying to develop a program?
Make goals, and nothing's impossible. I made goals for my personal life, and I've achieved a lot of them. But the wrestling part, I still have goals that I want to complete. I would say start small for sure. You can't dream big. You can definitely get there as long as you keep working hard, and you have to hold yourself accountable. So the two things is, I would say, make goals for yourself and as a coach for your wrestlers. And then two, you got to hold yourself accountable. If you do things that are wrong, and let's say I'm just going to miss practice today, then the kids should be allowed to miss practice. They should have excuses. So, I think dream, make goals for yourself, and then just hold yourself accountable and just keep working. Like you said it, it's not a secret, work hard, but you got to just you got to think that they're doing more than you. And it's a whole wrestling mind aspect. I'm always trying to do more than these other guys. I'm trying to do more than we can. I'm trying to do more than Clovis High. And I know they're probably doing more than me, but guess what? I'm going to keep trying, and I'm going to keep going again. I'm never going to give up. Make goals for yourself and just hold yourself accountable for the kids.
Let's have fun here at the end. Push out rule. Should we have it or not?
I'm like a 50.
Okay.
I'm not. Yeah, I kind of like the push out rule. If I had to go, yeah, because there's too many guys that play the edge, and it just, me being, I hate watching that wrestling. They back up, back up, back up, and then they're scoring on you. It's kind of hard. I say push out rule is good.
Okay.
Yep.
And state meet. 64-man bracket, yes or no?
Ooh, that's a lot. That is a lot. How many days are we going to make this? 64-man bracket. That would be 4 days. Yeah, I'm not for a 64-man bracket. That's
Okay.
too many.
What about split divisions?
I was all about the true. It's just it's just become like the good teams are going to be good, and then you're going to have like we've talked about it before. You really, if you're going to be a top 5, top 10 team, you can't just have one guy anymore, 2 guys. You got to have a full lineup. You almost have to be taking a full lineup to the state tournament if you want to be a top 5 team. So, I think it does hurt the smaller schools, and it's not helping them. So I think 2 divisions now in 2026, being a head coach, seeing everything that's going on, I'm for multiple divisions.
Is there a rule change that you want to see happen?
Yeah. And I brought this up, and I'm probably going to call him out. He won't get mad because I messed around with him at the state meet this year, and I got him pretty good. He was laughing. I want video review. Okay. I think video review, like we're in 2026. And I'm not asking for the whole state tournament, but I think the kids deserve it. Like they got there. We've worked our butts off. I think semifinals and on, maybe even quarterfinals. You get 1 or 2 throughout the rest of the tournament. If you use it, tough luck. But, 2 years ago, Leo Myasis is in the semis against the Cortez kid from Gilroy, and we definitely got hosed on that one. But if you get video review, maybe 1 or 2, it's going to be what's in the best interest for the kids. And at the end of the day, me and you are working to make, do what's best for the kids. Yeah. If you get video review, that's doing what's best for the kids. So, like I said, 1 or 2, you start getting to 3, then it holds up the tournament, and then people just start using it and abusing it. So I think video review, that needs to come into play.
So it is 2026, and
we have it. Flow Wrestling's, we have all the stuff. So
Wi-Fi is not going down.
Yeah. Why not do it?
Okay. I wouldn't argue with you there. What's something that frustrates you? Is it stalling? Is it control?
I think, and I get it. Like you guys, I actually talk about it all the time. Like, dude, I could ref. That guy made a horrible call. I can see that. When you actually get out on the mat, there's people watching you. It's different. It's totally different. It's like us wrestling in the practice room. It's hard. And I get it. You guys have a hard job. And I know at the end of the day, you guys take it personal. If you watch it over, you don't feel good about it. So I would say the one thing for me with referees is, and they're going to watch this and laugh, say, God, Flores, he's the meanest dude out there. I would say just be more approachable when if we come off, and I know me personally, I've talked to every ref at the state tournament. You come off really brash. You come off really aggressive. And just so they know, they're my kids. I treat them like my own sons. So I'm just passionately trying to fight for them and what I think is right. So if I come off hot, like I think refs need to know at that time, we're very passionate. It's in the moment. Just be a little bit more approachable. Like I know it's hard. I know it's really, really hard, but that would be like my number one. That's the hardest thing sometimes is when you go up to a ref sometimes and you ask them, I mean, they won't even listen because you've already pissed them off in some way. And I get it. Like, yeah, I wouldn't want to listen to me either. I talk too much. I yell.
When you do this long enough and you've been around wrestling long enough, you appreciate people. But in the heat of the moment, the coach, their job is to advocate for the wrestler.
Advocate for our wrestler.
And you see things one way. Yep. And an official tries to look at it from a different lens.
Yes. And
we miss calls.
Yep.
Or we get them right and the coach just misses.
You're not perfect.
It totally happens.
Yeah. And I, every time, when things like that happen, I don't hold grudges. I try to go up to the ref afterwards and talk to him and say, hey man, I'm sorry if I offended you in any way. But, I just think, at the end of the day, like we talked about, we're here for the kids. And I think trying to get the call right is what we should be trying to do. So, yeah.
I like that. I think we'll leave it with, we can be more approachable.
Yeah. And I'll practice myself.
Big thank you to Coach Flores for joining us and sharing what it truly takes to build a successful wrestling program, from culture and leadership to accountability and long-term development. Today's conversation was packed with insights for coaches, wrestlers, parents, anyone invested in the sport. It's clear the foundation is being built the right way. If you enjoyed this episode, make sure to follow, subscribe, and share with somebody in the wrestling community. We'll see you next time on Full Circle Wrestling. All angles, all levels, all in.